okay, I think I'm gonna take some action. So I decided to take some action. I started showing up to the Substitute meetups. I started telling people what I'm doing, and I ended up getting my first deal within 3 weeks. It was a 60-day deal with a 12% return, and I ended up making, what was it, like 70 to 80 in about 60 days. So I said, okay, this pays for my membership. I'm going to continue networking. I'm going to continue taking action. And after that deal, I got another deal the next week. And another one. And then it just kept coming. And then you realize, wow, I don't really have all that money. And so then I'm like, wait, what do I do? And so you just collaborate with people, right? Because there's money everywhere. And so that's what I've been doing for the past year. I've done about 22 deals. So in 1 year, when you say your life can really change, it really can change if you make some intentional action. And so I'm here to tell you that my background is healthcare. I have no clue about real estate. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. But as I take action, every deal is different. I learn every single time something new. So I did 10 private money lending deals, and then I switched over to the transactional lending, which is funding EMDs and double closes. And now I've done 11 EMDs so far. And that transition was in the summer. And so now I've been focused on that. I'm going to continue focusing on that. And that's going to be my plan, because eventually I want to be the bank for real estate investors so that you guys can improve the community. And so why not do that? I can tell you about my easiest EMD deal. This is why it's important for you guys to come out and network, because let me tell you about the easiest EMD deal that I got. I met a guy back in June. We connected. I told him, I find EMDs and double closes. If you ever need any of my services, hey, let's chat. He calls me 3 weeks later, and we've been going back and forth. He says, hey, I'm actually buying a house. I would love for you to fund my EMD. I said, how much is it? We discussed the ROI for it. It was $5,000 that he needed down. I called title. I send him my paperwork. Because one of the things to protect yourself with an EMD is to make sure that title communicates and they know that we're all on the same page. And so I talked to title. We got that confirmed. Wired the money. Within 7 days, I made $1,000.
Wow.
That was it, guys. It was just me meeting. It's like me meeting Andrew right here, and he tells me to fund his EMD. And so now we built that relationship. I funded 4 of this guy's deals already, and if he keeps bringing me, he'll always keep me in mind. So you never know who you're gonna meet. It's so important to network. I cannot even. Networking is so big in the real estate community, and you're not going to connect with everyone, and that's okay. But I can always connect to someone that will connect with you, right? I think that's what it is, that everyone has something to bring to the table. And so how are you any different, and what kind of value are you giving? So.
Wow, that's powerful. We love you, Brenda.
Okay, so that's all really good. One of the first questions that I have for you is, how did you decide to focus on lending? Because I feel like when you're a newbie in real estate, you see all the different things, right? Like I was telling Mike earlier, you see people who are killing it with like short-term rentals and Section 8 and co-living and all these other things, right? But how did you decide to focus on lending, and what were some of the factors that contributed to that?
I think for me, I had a little bit of funds to work with, but you also have to have that mindset shift, because you get a lot of the imposter syndrome. I know so many people that do really well with short-term rentals, and then you want to jump into that space. Like I have a friend that has been in it in the short-term rental industry still. He's like, Airbnb's not dead. He's still doing so great with it. It's just focusing on one thing, whether that's going to be you closing deals, you funding. I decided I don't know everything about funding, and I'm still learning. Why not become an expert at it? And in 2 years, I can actually say, okay, I know the ins and outs. I know how should I protect myself correctly. Each situation is different, and when you try to focus on just like short-term rental here, funding here, closing deals here, like you're not really going to go as far as just focusing on one. And that's how I do that.
That all sounds good. I think, a lot of people have this shiny thing, like you said, where it's like, you want to do all these things, right? But the end goal for everybody is the same. Everybody wants time freedom, financial freedom, right? So one of the things that is common among people who are doing pretty well in their business is they focus at one thing, maybe two things, right? But they're not doing all the things. And so I think that's something that it's one of my favorites from you is you kind of picked something and you went all into that. So another question that I get a lot too is with people that have interest in becoming a lender at some point, what are some of the ways to get funded, right? Because not a lot of people have, a ton of cash to start with. But if someone is at least interested in becoming a lender, what are some of the different funding ways that they can go about?
If you don't have money, then I would suggest you go out and do outreach and get deals. Bring those deals to the people that do have money, and then JV with them, and you can split profits. If you have the money, but you don't have the deals, then you can just always collaborate. And that's how I like. There's money everywhere, so don't worry. When I tell people, oh, I didn't do a deal because I didn't have the money, I'm like, relax. You always tell people you have money. You just bring it to someone that actually does have it. And we'll take care of it, and we'll split those profits. Everyone should be able to make some kind of collaboration. Never leave a deal.
Cool. And then one of the other things you said was you transitioned from PML, right, to focus on PND and other closes. What made you kind of pivot and do PNDs and other closes as opposed to PMLs?
I switched over because I'm part of also Pace Mortgage Community, the Owners Club. So we're working a lot with what we really want to help as far as like a long term. And so one of my long terms is to become a bank for real estate investors so that they can improve their community. There's a lot of people that need money for like co-living, they need money for pad splits, they need money for assisted facilities. And so my goal is for 2025 is to work with individuals that actually have money and we can become a bank and we'll start at some point.
So my next question is going to tie into that, right? If someone wants to borrow money from you, how do they set themselves apart from other people that are also seeking funding from people like yourself?
Build a relationship. That like I want to genuinely build a relationship. I want to go for the long term. I don't want to do transactions just to do a transaction. Like I actually want to get to know you and see how I can help you and provide value to you.
There you go. Okay, now we're going to transition over to my guy Libra. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. Where